So what do you ask in an interview? Like I said, we're going to go back. So you always go into an interview um, having in hand in your file, in your portfolio, written out questions that you're going to ask them. This is just a sample list of questions, and you might have three, you might have five, you might have many more. That's fine. Just don't make sure again you don't ever ask them a question like for instance you wouldn't want to say, well, how many employees do you have here, or what do you do? What does this company do? No, you know what they do, right? Because you've done your homework. So certainly don't ever ask them a question where the information is readily available. And but these are common questions that you could ask. Can you describe a typical day in this role, in this position? What do you see as the greatest challenge in this position? How would you describe the management style? How is performance evaluated? What are expectations of a new hire? How would you describe a successful employee in this position? What do you like most about the company, least about the company? And what are the next steps? So that last question, sometimes they'll tell you the next steps when they're wrapping up the interview. But if they don't, it's certainly fine for you to ask that. When will I, what are the next steps? When can I anticipate hearing from you? So again, these are just common questions. And again, and feel free to obviously, to inject any of your own specific questions. But again, like I said at the beginning, interviewing is two-way. It's a two-way street here. So you want to make sure that you're, getting as much information. They've asked their questions. Your time comes too, and you want to make sure that you have all the answers to the questions that you have. And again, the more information that you're going to have from these, the better understanding you're going to have of the overall position and how you might fit, would or might fit. So again, some of the, pay attention. If they say something that you weren't aware of, if they say like, what's a typical day like? If they say, well, some days, it's mandatory overtime. You've got to work 12-hour day and just 12-hour shifts, and you weren't aware of that. Like, that's something that, might not sit well with you right now, or that might not be good. So pay attention to whatever it is they say.